Yo, what is up, guys? Here again with another video. I haven't actually talked to the camera in a minute, so hi guys, how are we doing? So I probably did this in the wrong order, to be honest. I basically got lazy after last week's local. I just couldn't find a good window to get out of the way and record the deck profile. Although I should have. Posted my last profile before I posted those few matches I had. And you guys probably already saw that there's a round 3 posted this morning. I had a round 4. It was versus another pure ISO deck, and it was close. I lost to a deck building error where I basically didn't fully commit to a side out and leaving one card. I left one impulse in my deck for. I left one impulse and didn't side in the third droplet, and I only opened one non-engine, and it was the one impulse, so it should have been a droplet, and potentially I'm able to play through if I end up having that droplet, although I would have had to droplet 2 for a detonator dweller, and then he also would have had cross, and he also had Ash, Veiler, Imperm, Ogre, I think. So I still don't even know. I had a good hand, but I don't know if it was good enough to beat all of that. So I ended up losing that last round out. And then also, I did take this list to another locals that I will be hopefully recording today. Very exciting. And I did go to a sneak peek event for water where the only difference... so you were able to play with the cards you pulled in your sneak peek packs, and I pulled the new trap Abyss team, and I pulled Abyss Trite, the new rank 7. I replaced the Abyss Keeper with the Trite, and I did not play the Abyss team, and I ended up going undefeated that night as well. So there was 3 rounds. I played against like Light Sworn, Zombie. I played against and I played against a Malice deck, and then I played against Ritual Beast. And so I ended up doing really well that night. So overall, back-to-back locals, this list actually performed really well. I really did like it. This thing, I feel like the deck is just about where I think I wanted it to be before, leaving the post or leaving pre-SUDA. So we'll get into the profile. This is a 43 card list. It's a Deep Sea King Turbo build. It's not playing the Lancia package. And yeah, we'll just get into it. So as for the Atlanteans, 3 Princes always, 1 Infantry, triple Shrine, and triple Dragoons. So I guess the main things to take away here is, this is your consistency. These are like, I almost call post-SUDA, it's a lot easier to actually categorize these cards, I feel like. So, like, Dragoons, in my eyes, is treated as, like Dragoons is a starter, in some sense. If you play enough discard outlets, then that means anytime you're ever opening Dragoons, you should be opening a discard outlet with it. And, yeah, so, Dragoons is consistency, it's a starter. Shrine, this is a consistency and starter and extender. Shrine is crazy, and even if you're not playing the Deep Sea King, you probably still have to be maxing these out, especially post-SUDA, pre-SUDA, because now it can summon the new Pre-SUDA, which is insane. I did not get to play with the Pre-SUDA yet. I only was able to play with Trite at the sneak peek event. And then I play the 1 Infantry. As much as I constantly go back and forth and want to increase this card count, the fact of the matter is that this card isn't actually doing anything for your deck. It's it's really only good going second. And yes, it's like still good to be able to tribute off a Shrine, and it's still an amazing card. And obviously, we like Infantry. It's just it doesn't add the consistency that this deck needs to be able to function properly, especially when in this current version of the deck where consistency is even less than post-SUDA, because we don't have Pre-SUDA, we don't have Trite. It's even more important that we're opening hands where are strictly playable cards, or a combination of playable cards and non-engine. And Infantry just doesn't really fit that build too well. It's fine to have a water than nothing, but a water, even having just a blank water isn't even that great unless you're going first, or you have multiple waters and you have multiple extensions. So we really want to minimize the amount of non-playable waters we have, because fodder waters are only good up to a certain degree. And then just triple Prince. Obviously, Prince is the best card in the deck, and this card becomes even crazier this card becomes even crazier. Post-SUDA, being able to search Poseidra is insane. And then the fact that now we are no longer adding infantry to hand. We are just adding prince to hand because you can discard prince off of a Lacia or Shrine on your opponent's turn. And then the prince in your graveyard can summon back Poseidra. Poseidra can then send infantry or send dragoons to target a card, put it back in the opponent's hand. That's really strong. So, let me guys know your thoughts. Potentially, do we even need the infantry anymore? Because we're always just adding infantry to discard to summon Poseidra. I don't know. Maybe the infantry is even not needed to a certain extent. I don't know. I didn't think about that till just now. But yeah, that is for the Atlanteans. Next we get into Mermails here. I have triple Teus, 1 Megalo, triple Pike, triple Squad, and Gunned. Yes, we're playing the full Mermail package here. I guess just to go over the obvious ones real quick. Triple Squad because it's a starter and extender, and it's it's a combo piece to get into your Poseidra XC plays, your Yugioh, and then soon to be Trite. And then play triple Pike, so we're playing the Deep Sea King build, and I still like triple Pike over playing Harpooner, Butterfly Fish, stuff like that. Just because it's more consistency. It's I just need to be able to play the game first. If I can play the game, then you can kind of do whatever you need to do to fulfill your end board. So just rather having a Pike and a discard, a Pike of Dragoons is way better than Harpooner and Dragoons. And I just want to minimize the amount of brick hands I can possibly have. And so we are accepting the fact that we might have extra normal summons sometimes, but for the most part that doesn't really come up, especially in the 43 card list. I think there was one hand where I actually did open I think it was maybe double Pike, 1 Prince or something. I still won that game. It didn't even matter. I don't even know. It might not have been. It might have been 1 Pike, 1 Prince. It doesn't matter. But yeah, and then we play wrong one. Triple Teus for consistency. This is the best. This is probably the best card you can open. If you can open this plus Squad or Dragoons, this is probably still the best play in the deck. It's probably it's still better than Prince. And this card with a good discard is amazing going first, and it's amazing going second. So yeah, we love Teus, always maxing out. And then I do play Megalo and Gunned, and I guess I'll get it out here. I also play Triana. So I definitely look at these cards as a pair. If I wasn't playing Megalo, I'm probably not playing Triana. Honestly, I think Triana leaves when you're not playing Megalo, because the search for it off of the Abyss King I don't think comes up enough. It really doesn't. So if you're not, sometimes if you go full combo and you get to search this for follow up, that's great. But then there are definitely times where I open Triana and I just can't play the game. And it's back to the same theory where we really need to start working on minimizing the amount of bricks we have. So that way all of our hands are always either playable or non-engine. Never 2 non-engine, a blank water, and then a Triana, and you can't even play the game. We really want to get rid of those, or at least I'd rather not be able to play the game, but then have non-engine to stop my opponent. But yeah, so I will say though, if you are playing, so I do like Megalo. Megalo was really good in this list. I think Megalo was, somewhat, maybe not mandatory, but pretty close to it pre-SUDA, because we needed the Sea Serpent to search, build a discard to keep playing. And the fact that it did grab Triana also kind of acted like our Trite play. So Megalo and Triana kind of filled the role of Poseidra and Trite to a certain degree. And yeah, I really liked them. And I think there's also, there's conversation to continue playing these 2 cards. Post-SUDA as well. Depending on the list, depending on what you're trying to do, I do think there is merit in playing these 2 cards. Currently, my list is not playing it, but this is because I'm just testing out a different theory. But if I come back to a different place, I will definitely look into playing these 2 cards again. And yeah, so I did like them, and Triana, it's not a bad card by any means, and having that having the recursion by being able to banish and put waters back is really important too. And also losing that is the worst part of not playing the Triana. And then I play the 1 Gun. 1 Gun is also a really strong card. This is especially when you open a lot of engine in your hands. A lot of the so Shrine is our priority search, and we have Prince, Teus, and Pike to search Shrine, as well as just opening Shrine. So you basically have 12 shrines. You have 12 shrines plus 1 for 1, which also gets you to Prince. So technically you have 13 ways to get to Shrine. So if you open it, or you search off Prince, or your Teus search it, you'll always have a Pike or a Teus, you always have Pike or Teus that if you're able to use their effects, then a lot of times there's no water to grab, and so guns ends up being the best one. I think it's really nice to play into a board, just because just constantly having to put them on. Do you have enough cards to stop all my bodies? Is also really important too. And I would say more than the Megalo package, I am very much looking for reason and space to play the one gun moving forward in post-SUDA. Currently, again, I am not actually playing gun in my new list, but it's just because I'm playing a completely different list entirely, or just a new idea of a list entirely, and gun just doesn't completely fit the theory of the build, but it's not bad. Gun's a really cool card, and I do like it, and I will definitely consider playing it moving forward. Next, into like some of our one-of waters, we play Mulan, Deep Sea King, Ran, and Araya. So we're playing Mulan here for the hand rip. Yeah, you know, it's Mulan's an incredibly strong card, but I think it's, you know, Mulan's a really weird card because at the end of the day, Mulan is another brick per se. You know, yes, it's a fodder water, but you know, do we really want to be opening multiple fodder water hands where we just lose the one hand trap? I don't know. But then, you know, Mulan does act as a great end board piece, you know, putting your opponent on 2 less cards. That is very strong. And I think what I like the most about Mulan is I think it's a solid line under Fluoros. I think, but I think if there's ways where we can find to maybe play around Fluoros and still put up a decent board, and we can find a different way to stop our opponent from playing, maybe Mulan doesn't have to live in this deck anymore. But we will see. Next is Deep Sea King. This card's, you know, insane. Another card I am also looking at post-SUDA is like, is there a way where we can cycle this card out? Currently, I'm not there because it plays too well under Droll, and the fact that you can basically go through your whole, you know, your standard just like interaction points of Pike discard, Teus discard, Prince effect, and then eventually as the last action you can go Shrine discard, summon Deep Sea King, and now you're just like, now you're able to play off of that, and this card basically acts as a way for me to like break through my opponent's board, whether that's build my own or try and you know, take them out in the one turn. So I do like Deep Sea King. Then I play the one Ran. I play one Ran because so we're trying to max out on max out optimally how many like discard like how many waters we have that discard cards to play. This puts cards online. So one, this deals with fodder waters. So you discard fodder waters to summon, you know, a Chenning, and having fodder waters with Ran's really nice, because if you discard a water with no effect into a Ryziel board, then you can set up a Chenning or Gamir if you're playing Gamir, before, you know, they can really do anything, because the effect of Ran happens in resolution and has an effect. It activates in hand and then resolves as one effect, summoning the token. And so if you don't send a card like Dragoons or Squad, then yeah, it's pretty nice that you can go into like a straight 6 or 10 and your opponent can't really respond to it. But yeah, Ran's nice. Just having another card that also works under Fluoros. You know, definitely the 2 main cards I'm looking for under Fluoros is like Mulan, Ran. So you can go like Ran into like a Chenning, and then Mulan to discard 2. And yeah, you know, and then also Ran's nice if you open the Deep Sea King, but you have like a Shrine, you don't exactly know what you want to use it for. Let's say you also have Teus as well. You can search the Shrine as like a backup plan, which I also really like. And then I played the one Araya. I'm just trying to play some more. So this is a 43 card list, and again I'm just trying to optimize my consistency and really just trying to have as many playable hands as possible with the amount of non-engine I'm playing. And yeah, so Araya just, you know, it just fits the bill as another consistency piece, as well as, you know, I play Deep Sea Aria and 1-for-1. These are also added as just consistency cards. I really like Deep Sea Aria because one's a thrust target, which is a really big deal, and it's a better thrust target than 1-for-1, because if you thrust into 1-for-1, you know, you're gonna have to have a card to send with the 1-for-1, where this is just a single. It's a 1 card, you know, extender, starter, whatever. And it's also nice if you're going second and you drop this after like activating Perulia, because now you have a water engraved at the beginning of your turn, so you can shotgun this, and so it acts like a bonfire. And yeah, you know, these cards these were fine. I never had issues with them. It adds consistency, so it did what they were supposed to do. The only thing that sucks about Deep Sea Aria and Araya is that they play a little harder to Droll. And so like if you get Droll before you can activate these, they just live in your hand. They don't do anything. And you're not typically, well, okay, so Deep Sea Aria cannot search Shrine, and then Araya isn't typically searching Shrine either. Typically it's searching like a Teus or Dragoon or Squad. So that also adds to the fact that when you activate those cards as like your roughly first action as a search, you're probably going to get drolled and not have a great time. And then I played 2 minstrels in the main. The reason I actually so I was just playing 1 minstrel. I did decide to bump it up to 2, and my reasoning for that was, one, I did want to up the percentages just a little bit more of the amount of waters I had and the amount of waters that discarded cards to activate effects. So I did like that as well. And I noticed that when I was just playing the 1 minstrel, and let's say game 1, you go first, you minstrel, you look at their hand, you pop, you take care of the nib, and then you build a board and you stop them from playing. But maybe you don't have just quite enough like instant lethal on the crackback. A lot of the times I noticed that like I would love if I could just go for a second minstrel, just like, you know, because you always have a follow-up prince. You know, if your board's staying alive and you stop your opponent from playing, but they have enough to where like you kind of have to play around nib to kill them, because it's still living in their hand. And let's say you lost your totally awesomes. Well, and your totally awesomes are usually searching back some way to get to prince. So if you can just normal prince and just go straight to minstrel again, and then just hand loop him one more time, just take care of the nib and then go for game. I mean, that's pretty nice, and that did come up a couple times. I don't know if it came up in the locals I recorded, but it definitely came up in like some testing, and it came up at the sneak peek. And yeah, so I thought the 2 minstrel was fine. I would side out 1 to 2 and going second. I always like to keep 1 in there just in case. But yeah, and so this is a 30 card engine, and then I have 13 non-engine here. I have 2 Fluoros, 2 Perulia. As my only monster hand traps, I did not play Ash Blossom, and shockingly enough, I didn't miss it as much as I thought I would, although Ash is probably still warrants a slot in the main deck. I think it was fun to try without it, and it's not that I really noticed that it was gone, but I just think it probably needs to come back in, just off the fact that it does deal with the Charmies when you go first, and it does hit like those key cards like Duo Drive. It hits the Fiendsmith, like Requiem. It hits. It's also going to hit like the new ritual spell, kind of, for the Mitsurgi, and it's probably not bad against Malice, although I'm not positive. It hits the traps, so that's cool. But yeah, so I did play the 4 Charmies. I have 1 more Perulia. I did not play the 3rd one. I wish I did. I wish I'm at least. I think the way I'm leaning towards here is I like maining 3 Perulia and I like siding the Fluoros. I want all of my non-engine to be playable even when I go first. And so what's cool about Perulia is yes, now this is a case where the fact that this card becomes a fodder water when you're not using it does warrant its slot in the main deck. I really do think so, because at worst you're always trading, even with like Malice, you're trading like 1 for 1, sometimes even 2 draws off of like a Malice player. But then any other deck, you're for the most part stopping their turn, or you're not stopping their turn, you're at least drawing like 2 to 3 cards. And then, and so yeah, I really did like Perulia. And then, Fluoros is cool too. It's just that Fluoros it's so good that I decided to main it. And I think pre-SUDA maining the Fluoros was correct. I don't think Droll was strong enough to really warrant the slot over the Fluoros, although I could be wrong. But I did like maining Fluoros. I was also afraid of Malice, which this did come up against. This did come up for game 1's versus Malice at the sneak peek. So Fluoros definitely did its job. But then other times where I open Fluoros and it's just like dead in my hand, I'm like, cool, it's just not a playable card. And so in those instances, having a Droll would have been really nice, especially like when you get stopped, you have to put up like this half board or nothing board, but you still have cards on the field, so you can't drop your Fluoros. Droll would be definitely nice in those instances. But yeah, and so then I played Triple Talents. Triple Talents was cool. Not too much to say about it. I did some hand ripping. I think I did some drawing. I did some stealing. It's a nice utility card, and I don't know if I go back and forth in talents, because I feel like I really just want to play hand traps in this deck. I feel like I just want to, if I am playing hand traps, I guess that's what I mean. Like, so the other non-engine I'm playing is just 3 Imperm and 3 Impulse. And so when I'm playing all these hand traps, it makes me lean towards a little more not wanting to play talents and just wanting to play like another hand trap, maybe Ash Blossom, or playing a better board breaker like Droplet, which like specifically deals with problem cards. Talents wasn't bad, but it wasn't crazy either. I don't know. Hard to say with that one. I can't really remember. And then, Imperm is Imperm. Imperm is great in this deck. I love playing Imperm in this deck. And then I play triple Impulse. You know, Impulse is broken against every deck except Pure Ryziel, and that's my only issue with it, is it just does not do well against Pure Ryziel, which is somehow the most common build I've been playing against lately. Against every other deck, Impulse is nice. It's really good against the Misurgi. It's good against Malice. So I end up losing my game 3 because I decided to keep one Impulse in, where it should have been the third droplet, which is in the side deck. And that was my mistake. And that's not too much to blame Impulse. It's just, yeah, Impulse does not do enough versus Pure Ryziel game 1s, which is tough, and it makes me conflict on whether I want to main it, or if I want to side it, or if I can even play it at all. I like to play it, especially post-SUDA, but again, it's just like, man, the Pure Ryziel matchup is so bad, and I think Pure Ryziel gets a lot stronger because of Eclipse, and yes, Impulse hits Eclipse. I just don't know if that is enough to warrant the main deck slot. Maybe it is. More time to test. So time will tell. But yeah, that's a 43 card list. Honestly, I was really happy with it. In terms of like the main deck, the engine, I'm like really fond of this build. The only actual changes like I would make is like I still haven't gotten the non-engine exactly down what I would like. Like the Fluros still maybe goes into the side deck. The Ashes probably come back in. Prulia's become 3 of. Maybe I even go like triple Prulia, triple Imperm, triple Impulse, triple Droplet, and then triple Ash maybe. Maybe I bump it to 15 hand traps and go to a 45 card list. But yeah, so I mean, the deck's dead now. You know, this deck is now irrelevant. But it was fun to try and solve this list. I don't think I got there, but I think I made a lot of groundwork, and I feel like I'm already in a good position post SUDA. So yeah, that was the main deck, and we'll get into the extra. I'll go a little faster. 1 Zealantis, 1 King, 1 Lacia, 1 Coral, 1 Abyss Keeper. These cards are all mandatory. These ones were definitely mandatory. I think you have to play this because TT King's so strong. And then I think Zealantis is really strong too. I think it's important to have a card like this for awkward matchups. A lot of the times that you kind of have to kill them on the first turn or you're going to lose, and Zealantis does that. And then for Xyz, played 1 Poseidon, 1 Gaios, 1 Kraken, 1 Dweller. These cards are obviously mandatory. You don't need more than 1 though. Kraken and Dweller, I think those cards have honestly become, I don't want to say they're mandatory, but I personally find them as mandatory cards. These cards basically help handle your Fiendsmith matchup. So if you go first, Kraken basically floodgates them from not being able to play the game. And then if you go second, the Dweller allows you to turn off their Paradise, the Fiendsmith trap card engraved. You just won't, they won't even have time to respond to it. You just won't get hit with it. And being able to kill the mirror match with this is nice, I guess. And then just having the Dweller for random rogue matchups can definitely be relevant. And Kraken's also strong for burn as well. And so it's just good to have utility rank 4s. Then I played Double Bahamut, Double Toad. These cards were nice. Not much to say about these. I played 1 Levy as the flex spot in the extra deck. This is the one card that I wasn't really able to go heavy on anything here. I felt like it was better than. I didn't feel like there was a card that's better than Levy, and I didn't feel like Levy. I don't know. I have really nothing much to say about it. It comes up in very rare instances. Whatever random tech choice I decided to play in the extra deck probably would have come up just as many times as Levy does. I just like it that I like having something to be able to go into after I go through a Poseidon line. And so whether that's Porpoise, whether that is a Croco Dragon, or that's Levy or Trish, you need something to have to go into for Poseidon, and I just chose Levy as that option. Probably mainly because of Shifter and the fact that you can go and you can side in the Virtue Stream going first, and then Bahamut into a Levy Dragon after going through the Deep Seeking line under Shifter, and so that's a line, I guess. And then I just played the Chending as a level 10 synchro. I definitely still I understand why everyone loves Gamir so much. I do see the applications. Maybe if I made synchros more often, I would debate at least playing Gamir and Chending, because this card could definitely be Gamir. You could definitely play Gamir Chending, but I don't think you need it. And maybe I'll change my mind on that. I'm not completely biased in saying that I will never play Gamir, but currently I'm still finding Chending to be a stronger card. And then we'll get into side deck. Triple Lancia, 4 Malice, big shock. Call by for going first. We played double encore, triple droplet. I wanted to have enough cards to side in going second versus Yugioh when they make Dweller. And yeah, for some silly reason, I only sided in 4 in my game 3. This should have came in for the last impulse, and it didn't because I was thinking I had too many cards to side in for that matchup. That was a mistake. We got punished very heavily, and yeah, that was tough. But yeah, so all in all, though, these cards are cool. You know, they do their job, and I do like Droplet a little more than Encores because it's more flexible in what you can hit with it. And yeah, and then I played the Thrust package, so I played double Thrust. I couldn't fit the 3, and then played 1 Harpy, Sanctum, and D-Barrier, and then I played the Virtue Stream. These guys were all nice targets to have. I go back and forth whether I want this to be like Lightning Storm or Evenly or whatever it may be, but I know that, but since you're playing Thrust, you know, you kind of have to expect yourself to be playing this card into going second. Like, you're probably going to have cards on board when you activate Thrust, so the likelihood of like Lightning Storm being a solid target probably isn't that great. Same with Evenly, where you're going to have a board and you have to then you have to clear your own board before you can use it. So I just felt like Harpy was the safest one because back row is the biggest problem. You know, we can deal with monster boards pretty fine. And then yeah, you know, so Thrust was strong as it always is. This was a nice package. And then I played the 1 Virtue Stream just to search off the Levy, as well as you can search off Thrust. I don't think it ever actually came up. I don't think it ever actually mattered. I don't even know if I ever actually decided this card in. I probably would if I was playing into a shifter matchup. Yeah, so I guess I did side in for some of my shifter matchups, but I did not side it in versus like the local matches that you guys all saw that I was able to post. But yeah, that is the list. I'm not going to keep you guys here too long. So I guess the last little bit of, you know, story here is I'm going to hopefully, I'm pretty sure, going to my first locals tonight, and as long as my hookup has my 3 Presidras, I will be able to play my post waterless, and I'm very excited to try it out because it's very different from what I think we've been used to seeing, and I think it's pretty different from what we've seen people posting so far. And I saw one person in the Discord has the same idea as me. It's not quite there. We don't quite have the same list, but it's the concept, the win condition is there. So I see I'm not the only one thinking of this potential card to play. But yeah, this is really fun, and I had a lot of fun, honestly, trying to like dial this deck in. I wish I had a little bit more time. Honestly, I feel like I was pretty close to getting there. I feel like my non-engine was almost locked in, and I think maybe I should have leaned towards 45. One of the issues with this deck was, since you have, I think this deck has to play cards like Megalo, Gun, Triana, and Rand to kind of like support the fact that like we don't have the 3 Presidras, we don't have Trite, and this deck still needs a little bit of help in terms of the consistency department, and because of that we have to fluff our deck above 40 to deck cards like to deck counts like 43, 45, 50, 47, all these crazy card counts because we play so many breaks in the deck. And I think post-SUDA, having the 3 Presidras and the Trite honestly do solve a lot of those problems. At least I have found that in my personal theorizing so far. But yeah, that's the list. Thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm working on now. It might be ass, but it might be amazing. So we'll see. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching, and peace.